Hello and welcome to the video. This is the movie Reagan Out of the Theater reaction. Okay, Roger, so what did you think about the movie? It was a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, so it is long.
It is a straightforward biography of Ronald Reagan's political life from Indiana, tracing his journey into California, where he became governor, and then he moved on up and became the president. And it is a straightforward biography. That's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing it even uses nickname Dutch and all that sort of stuff. Highlighted his football career and everything like that. But it was a straightforward biography.
So it followed like chronologically
Oh yeah,
of his being an actor in Hollywood until he became governor
governor of California, and then he became president of the
and
United
president of the
States.
United States.
And it even drew on some, like when he was in the debate with Walter Mondale. He said, made the statement he was not going to exploit his opponent's youth and inexperience, and that was, I mean, it takes lines straight out of his life. That it lifts lines straight out of Reagan's life.
Okay. But as for the styling for the movie, I think they put a lot of effort into stylizing this movie. It was very stylized. It had a lot of period pieces from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. I think it went through all those decades, which it was brilliant styling. What do you think about that? The styling?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. They got all that right.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very interesting movie. I stayed in tune to the movie. I wasn't lost. I understood where it was going.
Fans of Ronald Reagan will surely love this movie. People who did not like Ronald Reagan, people who were AIDS victims, stuff like that, they would definitely not probably like this movie a whole lot.
And it just briefly went through the AIDS epidemic when he was in Washington, D.C. It barely, like maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds of that.
It did glorify Ronald Reagan's life.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a Reagan fan, a Reaganite, you're going to love this movie. If you were disagreeing with a lot of his policies, you're probably not going to like this movie. You will roll your eyes a little.
But it is a really good movie. I really liked this movie. I thought it was well put together. It was very thought out. A lot of history of how many decades? 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
And then in the 80s at the Reykjavik summit with Gorbachev, they emphasized that a lot, and so I mean it was kind of, in a way, there it was hard to tell, but they were kind of showing it through the eyes of how the Soviet Union was looking at the United States.
Yes, it was a POV, a point of view from a Soviet
communist perspective.
He was kind of narrating it.
Yeah.
But it was very well done. If you like history, this is a really good movie. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So
it covered the Reykjavik summit very closely at the end. So and that even borrowed that line, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I mean, they lifted that right out of Reagan, and they lifted a lot of lines right out of his speeches, stuff like that. And but it was a good movie.
Yeah, and they did show where they was tearing down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
But in the end, it had some really sad parts in the movie. A little tearjerker.
Yeah, he rode off on his horse as he was going
senile.
Alzheimer's was kind of taking him out.
Yeah.
So
1 out of 5, 5 being great, 1 being terrible. What would you rate this movie?
I'd say 4.5.
4.5, yeah. So
if you're a Reagan fan, you're going to give it a 5.
Or a history buff.
Yeah, and if you did not like Reagan during that time period, you'd probably give it a 1.
Yeah, but what if it's somebody who's 18 years old and they didn't even know Reagan? It's still a good movie?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to relate to it very well, but I mean, yeah, it's a good movie.
Okay.
So
thank you for watching, and check out the movie Reagan at the theaters. It's really a good movie. So I really liked it.
Yes. Buenas noches.